Once you arrive at the palace of the Sultan of Sokoto, you notice a large white tower. From its highest point, a green flag flutters. Green and white colors blend beautifully in the sunshine. If the flag is raised, it means the Sultan is within the palace, and a visitor may then seek to have audience with him. If the flag is not visible, this suggests that the Sultan may have traveled. The symbolism behind the flag is a sign everybody in the ancient city is familiar with and understands. This is replicated in all the emirates which make up what was once the Sokoto Caliphate. Sokoto is also known as Birnin Shehu, a reference to Shehu Usman Danfodio, the famous cleric who built it. The palace of the Sultan is 214 years old. It was built in 1808 by Mohammed Bello, son of Usman Danfodio, the founder of the Caliphate. It is the residence of the Sultan of Sokoto. Mohammed Bello was the first Sultan of Sokoto. His father, Usman Danfodio, never used the title of Sultan, but was known as Amir al-Mu'minin. The current Sultan is the 20th in the line of sultans. Just outside the palace is the Sultan Bello Mosque, and further down the road is the Hubbari, or tomb of Usman Danfodio. Along this stretch of road, several religious and historical structures lie close to each other, attracting crowds from many parts of Nigeria and even beyond. Sokoto is rich in sites which a tourist would do well to visit if he travels there. One writer describes the palace as being very rich in ancient architecture, but with modern improvements.
This is the family tree of everything. And the one here contains the names of sultans. If you look at it, you'll see that each name contains a number. But if you look at it very well, you will notice that there are some names that don't have number. And there is reason for that. All those with numbers are the ones that held position of sultan. Sir Ahmadu Bello, KBE, as you can see, Premier of Northern Nigeria. So if we don't include him here, we have not done justice to him, going by the contribution he gave to the growth of Northern Nigeria and the whole country in general. So that is that with this.
Once you go past the gates, you immediately come across a series of linked gardens which are surprisingly quite green and beautiful at this time of the year. A series of small fences run around the gardens, protecting the plants and flowers and allowing them to flourish. People pass by the gardens to enter the palace proper. The palace guards can be seen not too far off. Their yellow and red uniforms add to the colors within the palace. Titled men in turbans and flowing gowns add some color to the palace. To the left of the gates are a number of taps from which residents who live within the neighborhood fetch water every day. Visitors to the palace wishing to have audience with the Sultan are asked to wait for a while in a room which has a lot of history within it. The room is fully air-conditioned and it is a nice place to sit and wait, but there is so much history there. The room encourages the visitor to pause and reflect on many things. It was truly a brilliant idea to create such a room where history seems to infect everyone positively every hour. Many historical photos have been framed, and these grace the walls. The photos capture memorable times in the history of the palace. Some reveal the Sultan's late father, Sultan Siddiq Abubakar III, alongside a few others. There are photographs of the Sultan as a schoolboy and as a young army officer. Photographs of visitors to Sokoto as well as to the palace are numerous. An earlier Eze Igbo, or King of Igbos of Sokoto, is seen, including that of the current Oba of Benin. There are many other photos of visiting personalities. Very soon, we are ushered before the Sultan of Sokoto. Members of the Sultanate Council are present. They sit to the right of the Sultan. A number of historical and religious objects hang on the walls. One of these is the Quran, which is kept in a bag made for the purpose. There is a well-decorated sword too hanging on the wall. Very soon, after some pleasantries, we are done, and we are taken to other parts of the palace by the guide. There are different chambers in the palace which have a variety of purposes or functions. Some are for receiving the President of Nigeria whenever he visits. Others are for receiving governors, ambassadors, or other category of guests. The rooms are neat and well taken care of. A number of beautiful swords hang on the walls of one of the rooms.
This is the main chamber where presidents, first-class emirs are received, and people like even when U.S. Secretary of State, when he came here, he was received here in this chamber. Eh? No, not Clinton. I'm not talking about President. No, not the current one. The one that just, I think the former one.
Yeah, and
What is his name?
John Kerry.
John Kerry, exactly. He was here. He was received here. So all presidents, all first-class emirs, this is where they are received. Even President Buhari's recent visit, he came here on courtesy call. So he was received here.
We now move to the next chamber, which, like the previous one, is neat and quite welcoming.
Second-class emirs are received, deputy governors, ministers, ambassadors, and so on and so forth. In ranking, this one is the second. In terms of ranking, that one is the first, and then this one is the second. And then where you met him is the third one. That is where they hold their council meeting on daily basis.
We are taken to a cabinet within which lies the flag of the Sultan, recovered by the British at the Battle of Burmi in 1903. The British took the flag to England and returned it to Sokoto at a later date. The Sultanate Council intervenes in many issues to maintain harmony and to bring peace to Sokoto. It can resolve feuds or disagreements and assist orphans to marry if they lack the means.
If there are orphans, again, maybe like say there are lady orphans, maybe they want to get married because of the condition of the society, maybe they cannot do it because of the financial predicament and whatever. They usually come here and report it, and then they will assign somebody from here who will go and verify to find out whether what they are saying is true or not. If it is true, they will intervene and they will finance everything, the marriage.
There is a remarkable family tree hung on part of the palace wall. This is very important for anybody keen on understanding the history and lineage of the Fodios.
Muhammad Bello is the first sultan. Yes, is the first sultan. Sheikh Usman Nafodi was the founder. He was the one who fought for everything and then built the caliphate. Do you understand? And then He is always termed as the first sultan, but he was not here as a sultan, but rather his son, Muhammad Bello. Yes, you see, Muhammad Bello, then followed by Abubakar Atiku, and then the fourth one, Ali Baba, fifth one, where is the fifth one? Fifth one, and then sixth one, Aliu Karami, seventh, Ahmad Rafai, eighth, Abubakar the second, ninth, Sultan Muazu, 10th, Omar Aliu, 11th, where is 11th? 11th is somewhere around, okay, look at the 11th there, 12, up to this one, 20th, the current Sultan.
In front of the palace is a raised platform. The guide mentions that the Sultan sits there at important events such as the various Islamic festivals. On such occasions, horsemen and other titled men ride up to the dais, either on well-decorated horses or on exquisitely attired camels, just as their forebears did with passion every year for the past 214 years. Down the road from the palace of the Sultan of Sokoto is the Hubari, a popular part of the city. It is the tomb of Usman Dan Fodio. A number of sultans, including Mohammed Bello, Muhammadu Machido, Aliu Jedu, who was commander of the Caliphate Armed Forces in the 19th century, as well as members of the royal family, are buried there. Nana Asma'u, the famous poet, scholar, and daughter of the Sheikh, is buried there too. We are at the Hubari in Sokoto. This is the tomb of Usman Dan Fodio. His daughter, Nana Asma'u, is buried here alongside 8 other sultans. The Hubari in Sokoto was constructed well over 200 years ago. Hubari attracts pilgrims, tourists, and persons with a sense of history from both within and outside Nigeria. From many parts of northern Nigeria, pilgrims flock to Sokoto. During the various Eid celebrations, many pilgrims arrive at the tomb, having traveled from Chad, Cameroon, Niger Republic, and much further afield. They line the extensive walkways leading to the tomb. Then they wait for the special moment when they will be granted access to the Sheikh's tomb by Mebude Hubari, the knowledgeable keeper of the Sheikh's tomb.
Mun shigo a cikin gidan Shehu Usmanu Kubbarin Shehu Usman kuma wanda ɗane Muhammadu Bello ya gina mishi bayan ƙari jihadi daga siya ya umarce shi da ya gina mai gida da masallaci.
Once granted entry, they remove their shoes, say a quiet prayer within, and leave. It is a bit dark within the tomb on the day we visit. Along the walls of the tomb are a number of quotations from the Holy Quran. People go to the Hubari every single day, but a great number of visits occur during the Islamic festivals.
Zanen da kuke gani nan ne aka sa Shehu Usmanu da shi da ɗaya ne guda biyu Muhammadu Sambal Hassan su a cikin wannan kubbar. Kuma anan cikin ɗakin mata ce na aka sa shi Hawwa'u, ita ce mahaifiyar sarki musulmi Muhammadu Bello da Atiku. Bayan ya rashin lahiya ta nauyi ya zauna nan bayan Allah mai cika aka sa cikin nan.
When you pass the main entrance of the Hubari, you suddenly see a round building which is the Sheikh's school. Usman Dan Fodio taught many of his pupils at the school, which, like the Hubari itself, is dated at well over 200 years.
Ɗane Muhammadu Bello ya gina mishi bayan ƙari jihadi daga siya ya umarce shi da ya gina mai gida da masallaci. Ya gina mai wannan ginin ya mishi masallaci.
Once you walk past the school, the tomb of Usman Dan Fodio lies further down. It is a quiet day at the tomb, the visit occurring outside the festival season. Thus, there are just few visitors at the site.
Za mu je mu gwadi dukkan sarakunan da aka sani cikin hubbare da wasu jikokin shehu da sauran zuri'ar shehu da ake sani cikin hubbare. Duka za mu gwada musu. Amma nan shi Shehu Usman shi da annan sai da ne guda biyu Muhammad Sambul Hassan.
Mai Hubbare shows us a long line of tombs within which lie a number of sultans as well as Aliyu Jedu. Mai Hubbare has an astonishing memory and its power of recall is impressive.
Yanzu kuma shigo wajen ƙauyukan jikokin Shehu Usmanu da kuma wasu an sun ka taimake tsaye da addini. Nan kuma kabarin jikan Shehu Usman ne dan da ya Hajitu wanda aka ce ma Abdulrahman Saudi. Wannan kuma kabarin limamin Shehu Usman ne wanda shine liman Abubakar. Wannan kuma kabarin sarkin yakin Shehu Usman ne Ali Jodi. Shi kuma wannan kabari ne. Wannan kuma kabarin jikan Shehu Usman ne mai hillani dan sarki musulmi Amir Rufai. Shi kuma jikan shehu ne. Wannan guda biyu su kuma da wannan su kuma ba san wanda a cikinsu ba. Wannan kuma kabarin Fodiyo ne, shi kuma dan jikan Shehu Usman ne Fodiyo. Wannan kuma kabarin Ahmad Rufai yana dan sarki musulmi Atiku, shi kuma jikan shehu ne. Wannan kuma kabarin Usman Modangel, shi kuma dan abokin shehu ne Umar Alkamu. Sai wannan na ƙarshe kabarin Hadijatu matar sarki musulmi Muhammadu Bello, kuma ɗaya abokin shehu Usmanu Umar Alkamu. Su annan su 8. Wannan kuma mun shigo wajen ƙauyukan sarakunan musulunci guda biyu. Wannan sarkin musulmi na 16 Hassan dan Mu'azu. Wannan sarkin musulmi na 17 Abubakar na 3 shine mai sarkin musulmi na yanzu. Su kuma su aksa anan. Nan kuma mun shigo wajen kabarin sarkin musulmi na 6 shine sarkin musulmi Amr Rufai dan Shehu Usman. Shi kuma shi aksa nan. Tare da wata yana na Asma'u da Shehu Usman. Ita kuma ita aksa anan. Wanda zuri'ar ta suke sarauta wazirin Sokoto.
Mai Hubbare takes us to the tomb of Nana Asma'u.
Yanzu kuma mun shigo nan wajen wanda aka ɗauke sarakunan musulunci guda biyu. Wannan shine sarkin musulmi Muhammadu Macido. Sai sarkin musulmi Ibrahim da Suki nan baya gare shi. Wannan kuma muna da sarkin musulmi Attahir na biyu wanda shi a farkon tura suka nada. Tura shi a farkon da suka nada. Kancan shigewar shi a ciki. Nan kuma wannan shigewar akwai sarkin musulmi Mu'azz dan Bello ciki. Ko su annan. Nan kuma matan shehu ne a kwancin.
After this, we are taken to another part of the tomb. This is the end of the tour of the Hubbare, where many sultans and members of the Sokoto royal family lie buried.
Assalamu alaikum. Nan kuma shigo wajen baki a Shehu Usmanu inda ake turbuɗe zuri a Shehu Usmanu dukkanan wanda kuka gani duka ƙauyukan zuri a Shehu Usmanu ne duk su annan kwanci gaba ɗaya. Duk wani zuri a Shehu wanda ya rasu annan na ake kawo shi. Masashi.